This is chapter 63 of Life of Pi. The Robertson family survived 38 days at sea. Captain Blee and celebrated mutant Bounty and his fellow castaway survived 47 days. Stephen Callan survived 76. Owen Chase, whose account of the sinking of the whaling ship Essex by a whale-inspired Herman Melville survived 83 days. Sea with two mates, interpreted by 1 week, stayed the inhospitable islands. Bailey family survived 118. I have heard of a Korean merchant sailor named Poon, I believe, who survived the Pacific for 173 days in 1950. I survived 227. That's how long my trial lasted, over 7 months. I kept myself busy. That was one of the key to my survival on the lifeboat. Even on the raft, there was always something that needs doing. On average day for me, if such notation can be applied to a castaway, went like this. Sunrise, mid-morning, wake up, prayers, breakfast for Richard Parker. General inspection of raft lifeboat with particular attention paid to all knots and ropes, tending to the solar stills, whipping, inflating, topping off with water. Breakfast and inspections of food stores, fishing and preparing of fish. If any, caught, gutting, cleaning, hanging, and strips of flesh on lines to cure the sun. Mid-morning to late afternoon, prayers. Light lunch, rest and restful activities, writing in diary, examining of scabs and sores, upkeeping equipment, puttering about locker, observation of study of Richard Parker, picking at the turtle bones, etc. Late afternoon to early evening, prayers, finishing the preparing of fish, tending to curing strips of flesh, turning over, cutting away, and putrid parts, diner preparations, dinner for self and Richard Parker. Sunset, general inspection of raft, lifeboat, knots and ropes again, collecting and safekeeping distillate from solar drills, storing all foods and equipment arrangements for night, making the bed, safe storage of a raft and a flare in case of a ship, and a rain catcher in case of rain, prayers. Nights, fitful sleeping, prayers. Morning were usually better than late afternoons, when the emptiness of the time tended to make itself felt. Any number of events affected this routine. Rainfall at any time of the day or night stopped all other business. For as long as it felt, I held up the rain catchers and feverishly occupied storing their catch. A turtle visits another major disruption. Any Richard Parker, of course, was a rectangular disturbance. Accommodating him was a priority I could not neglect for an instant. If he didn't have much of a routine beyond eating, drinking, sleeping, but there were times when he stirred from his lethargy and rumpled about his territory, making noises and being cranky. Thankfully, every time the sun and the sea quickly tired him, and he returned beneath the tarp to lying on his side again, the flat on his stomach he held up on his crossed front legs. But there were more to my dealing with him than strict necessities. I also spent hours observing him, because it was a distraction. A tiger is a fascinating animal at any time, and that all the more so if it was a sole compensation. At first, looking out for the ship, something I did all the time compulsively, but after a few weeks, 5 or 6, I stopped doing nearly entirely, and I survived because I made a point of forgetting. My story started on the calendar day 2nd, July 2nd, 1977, and ended on a calendar day, February 14th, 1978. But in between, there were no calendars. I did not count the days, the weeks, the months, the time. The illusion only makes us pant. I survived because I've forgotten even every motion of time. I remember there are event encounters, routines, marketing emerged here. There from the ocean at the time imprinted themselves on memory. The smell of spent hand flare shells and prayers at dawn, killing of turtles, the biology of algae, for example, and many more, but I don't know if I can put them in order for you. My memories come in a jumble.